that we hear is when he said, "I thirst." And that's a fulfillment of Psalm 69:21. And when he said, "I thirst," they gave him vinegar and drink mingled with gall, and when he had tasted thereof, he would not drink it. He tasted, as we read later in John, in another one of the Gospels, but he didn't drink it. Why? Because it would have been a sedative. It would have taken away some of the suffering. And he was there to take all the suffering in absolute consciousness for you and for me. He wouldn't take it. He must suffer the terrible agony and carry our sins on the cross in full consciousness for you. And if you had been the only person in the whole world, he would have died for you. And then in Luke 23:34 is another thing that he said from the cross. He said, "Father, forgive them. They don't know what they do." Now, he was talking about those soldiers that were nailing him, the crowd out there that was yelling and screaming at him. 72,000 angels pulled their swords ready to come and rescue him. And he said, "No, I'm doing it because I love them." You see, you and I had sinned against God. We'd broken his laws, and he said, "In the day that you break my law, you will suffer and die." He said that to Adam and Eve. They broke his law. They sinned. That's what sin is. And you see, God never meant that anybody would ever die. And God did not create hell for us. But we deliberately rebelled against God. And God would not be God. He wouldn't be just and righteous and holy if he came along and patted us on the back and said, "You're forgiven." We had to die for our own sins, or somebody who was qualified had to die for us, and that person that was qualified was Jesus Christ, and he volunteered to do it.